Hey, yeah, you there. I see you over there. Holy moly, if this is not the 5th time I have tried to record this. Hey, what's up, YouTube? So I wanted to talk to you guys, again, nothing new, about how to let go of a toxic relationship. Because throughout the past 49 years of my life, I have been seeing a big glorification of completely toxic relationships, whether that be in my real life, on the internet, on social media, and anywhere, whether it's your parents or your best friend or your best friend's girlfriend, or yourself. Or know of one person who is in a severely toxic relationship. And either you yourself think to yourself, why the hell are they doing that to themselves? Why do they not just get up and find something better? And then there's a certain time where you may or may not be yourself, wondering, why is this so hard for me to walk away from? Why do I love and hate one day and hate and love the next? Why is it such a cycle? And then you see these people that, they cheated on so-and-so, but they got back together because it's true love, or so-and-so did this, rumor has it this, or it really did happen, but they want to work through it type stuff, And there is an old saying that just because trust issues arise in a relationship does not mean the relationship is over, but it definitely means that issues have arrived, right? A lot of people just see it at that. Issues have arrived, but because I loved them in the beginning, or this was such fairy tales and ducks, pixie shit and giggles in the beginning, we can get back to that one point. Well, in reality, a lot of the time when shit hits the fan, and when you got that feeling inside of you to run, you gotta go. It's time to get out, right? So I wanted to talk about that today. Now, the other day, I did make an underground podcast talking about people pleasing and setting boundaries that I think would be a little bit helpful to check out and listen to. Before this one, you don't have to, you really don't. But if you're like a person who doesn't really know, they're like on the edge of their seat in their relationship. Although if you're on the edge of your seat, just jump off. Just walk, you know what I mean? Push your chair in, say goodbye, and just walk. But if you just don't understand, I have a really good podcast that just will either give tips on how to set boundaries to hopefully save or sustain your relationship, or how to set boundaries in the future, or to figure out if you're just a people pleaser and people are just taking advantage of you and your relationships are not what they seem. So if you've listened to that podcast or whatnot, and now you're kind of like, all right, dude, I am a people pleaser. I don't know how to set boundaries. I tried to set boundaries, but this person is not respecting me. Like, I just want to get out of this relationship. What do I do? Hi. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not a relationship expert. In no way, shape, or form. But I have been through some weird shit when it comes to relationships and just personal experiences that I figured my advice might help somebody who is either in the same shoes that I used to be from when I was 14 till 20, or just similar experience that I am. I want to be that voice I never had. You know what I mean? So anyway, basically, one thing you need to understand is that you personally have to be willing to walk away from the pain. It's not you walking away from a whole bunch of promises and a relationship and a whole bunch of vows and whatnot. No, it's you loving yourself enough to realize that you are in pain and that you deserve to walk away from the pain. Nobody else is going to tell you to walk away unless you have a really good friend, but then even at that, you can have somebody giving you the best advice you've ever been given, but until you apply it or actually take it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just in one ear, out the other. So you yourself have to, one, tell yourself and be accepting of the notion that you want to walk away from the pain, okay? Life is too short, dude. It's way too short. We never know what tomorrow will bring. You have to be willing to walk away from the pain. One thing that I believe, and I got this from my book, this little tip about changing your inner dialogue. I'll leave the book in the description as well. But it basically just goes from changing your inner dialogue to the victim mindset of this is happening to me, to just stopping that story altogether. Changing the dialogue from this is happening to me to this happened to me. Literally. It's changing ing to ed. This is happening, this happened. It's as simple as that. How can you walk away and learn from something that is currently happening and you're not willing to accept or even come to terms with what's really happening, right? That's when a cycle comes into play. When you change your inner dialogue from this happened to me and here's what I learned, who do you have to blame but yourself? And I'll get into a little bit of the blaming mentality in a second, but think about that. If you change your inner dialogue, it literally allows you to stop that story from playing. You pressed stop. You didn't press pause. You didn't rewind it a little bit. You stopped it. You ejected the tape and you said, I'm done witnessing this pain. And then you throw it away, right? That's the first step of my 3 little tips I have from leaving a toxic relationship. Number 1, you have to be willing to walk away from the pain. This isn't a mutual agreement. Yes, sometimes on some planet, mutual agreements happen, and 2 people can just be like, oh, all right, peace, blessings, bye. This 5-year, 7-year, 3-month, this little relationship we shared, bye. Not like it's going to impact us. It's very rare that happens, okay? It's very rare. So sometimes you just got to bite the bullet before it even shoots you. You know what I mean? Bite it, stop it, eject it, and walk away. That other person can manipulate you. They can, if they're a people pleaser, they know that you just want to please them. They'll play the victim. Like, no, you got to stop and be willing. And when I say it starts going in a circle, that is step 2. So step 1, you have to be willing to walk away from the pain. Step 2, you have to understand and realize that you have been repeating a cycle and that the cycle will not stop until you stop it. So this is different. Walking away from pain is different from breaking a cycle. You can walk away from pain, being in a relationship with one person, start a new relationship and think that everything is bunnies and ducks, but then you realize that the same issues, the same insecurities, the same fights are happening again. You walked away from previous pain, but that doesn't mean the cycle, your cycle of either self-sabotage or self-pain is not going to continue. So walking away is just the first step. That's not it. You can't just walk away, all right? You can't just walk away, pretend that you forgive, pretend that you forgot, none of that. You have to be walking away from the pain, then step in the clouds. You're above yourself, bird's eye view. You're third person type-ish. You have to see that you were in a cycle and that it's time to break it. You have to want personal growth for yourself moving forward. So like I said, you walk away, cool, but then you find yourself in a whole brand new relationship. Well, 1, you need to understand that before you even start a new relationship, you have to heal from all past pain. You have to want personal growth for yourself and for the other person that you're with. Respect yourself and respect your partner enough to be like, you know what, both you and I deserve better. I'm not happy anymore, even if you're happy, cool. You deserve somebody to go be happy with. You know what I mean? It's obviously not with me. So you have to want personal growth moving forward. As I said, my mom used to tell me this stuff all the time. She used to be literally the VIP to the point she would print out documents online, highlight things, and be like, all right, Sarah, read this. Read it. And I'd be like, Mom, oh my God, it's not what you think it is. Like, we got in a silly fight. When in reality, I was in a toxic relationship that I needed to walk away from. You need to understand that you do not need to fight anymore. Oh, fight for what you love. Yo, love, you don't need to fight for it. I'm sorry, but true love, it should be a walk in the park. It should be morning sunshine. It should be happiness. It should be a walk in the park. We have set in ourselves, just like with my last video, don't talk to strangers. Oh, fight for what you love. If love circle led. You deserve to walk away from it. You don't need to fight. You don't. You don't need to fight for your own worth. You don't need to fight to try to love yourself while you're being torn apart by somebody else. Like, I promise you, being alone is a lot more soothing than being with somebody who's tearing you apart, no matter if they make you feel good for 15 minutes out of the 30 hours you spend with them. You know what I mean? You deserve peace. Seriously. And in all honesty, I do not want you to be like me where you regret what you did. Because it's real odd. It's almost a very odd situation where you're very blessed for what you learned and the experiences and the growth you had during a relationship. But at the same time, you completely regret it because I was with somebody so toxic that it completely took so much time and energy away from the relationship I had with my parents, especially my mom. So me looking back, I think to myself, all the fights, all the times we just got into arguments, all the times I wanted to go hang out with a boy instead of my mom, do not have an unhealthy relationship to the point where when it finally breaks, you are filled with more regrets than just meeting that person or carrying on that long. Never regret meeting somebody, I take that back. Never be in the position where you regret not walking away sooner because it took away from either happiness that you could have experienced or precious time with people who really truly did care about you. That's the only advice you take from this video, whether it be an actual family member, a best friend, a boyfriend, a partner, whatever. Do not let the experience you have with them take away from precious time and love that you could be experiencing with somebody who really truly does care about you. A lot of people are temporary, and a lot of people's time is temporary. So be wise. Just be wise about that. You're not going to break a cycle if you keep making up excuses to either go back to that person, to talk to that person, or to see that person. Like, say you guys already broke up, but then there's a part of you that's just like, nope, I got this sweatshirt, I've got this t-shirt, beep, 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 beep. You got to come and get your shit. I still got your shit. Yep, and I know you got mine. I need my shit. Do you know how many new shirts you've bought in your life? Burn it. Give it to Goodwill. Sell it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. There's so many options besides going back to the same toxic person that you're trying to leave over a materialistic item. Okay? Do not find excuses. Don't, I don't care if it's their birthday. I don't care if something tragic happened. You're not that person anymore. Okay? And the sooner you accept it, the easier it will be to not even think you're that person or live your life like you're that person. Right? Trigger. Leave my cat alone. So, as I had previously mentioned, it's easy to just walk away. You know, there's some people who just walk away. They go stay at their best friend's house. Their husband's, sleeping at home, or they go walk to the couch. I'm walking away, honey. I'm going over to Ben's for the weekend. I'm going to Mexico with the girls. I need to get away. There's a difference between walking away from the pain and walking away from the cycle. Okay? Pain is temporary. A cycle will last until it ends. I mean, so will pain, but think about it. Like I said, your pain, present day, that can end. But unless you break the messed up cycle of love you have in your head, the cycle of pain with another person is just going to continue. Your pain will not go away until you break the cycle of pain. You feel me? You feel me? So 2 reasons why the cycle doesn't end. 1, you haven't healed from past love. You haven't, period. I'm sorry, point blank. That's it. So either your past insecurities will play, because you're not over that person. You think this new person is just like the other person. So you're like, oh, nope, nope, sorry, you're just like them. Cycle, yep, pain all over again. Then you go and try and find another person, but then they're just like all that and the other. You're just like the other bag of chips I had last week. You have full of air. It's like, okay, realize and buy something else, right? Or 2, the person does not know how to set healthy boundaries. Which again, I would really recommend that podcast. It's really nice. It's real nice. You could get it at Walmart. I'm just kidding. I wish. But, yeah. So, yeah. 2 reasons why the cycle doesn't end. 1, you haven't healed from past love. 2, you don't know how to set healthy boundaries. All right? Also, sometimes cycles keep going because you keep playing the he said, she said game. Well, you said this. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Well, I didn't mean it. Okay, well, yeah, you said it. but then you said this, so you made me say it. It's like, cycles are everywhere. I think that's our mind. There's many cyclones to the point there's one over here, over here, over here, over here, to there's finally a hurricane. Finally, you know what I mean? People let it go. They don't care to talk about it. They see an issue, it pisses them off. They do not set their boundary right then and there, and they just let it go. Thinking things are going to change, or like that person's going to catch on to something that they never got a clue about. You just stop fighting and decide, you know what? No, I love you so much. I'm just going to bang your brains out to show you how much I love you. All right, you rabbits. But you know, and again, it's the blame and victim card. You guys just go playing victim to then blaming to blaming. Just stop each cycle, you know? Eject, 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 and then frisbee it into the ocean. I'm kidding, yo. Don't get me started on the plastic in the ocean. So, one huge tip that I was getting at earlier is if you're going to blame anybody, yo, at least blame yourself. You know why? Because then that gives you the power to fix it. If you're putting the blame on everybody else, like, oh, my mom, oh, my boyfriend, oh, my girlfriend, she makes me so miserable. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your mother, they're going to control you your whole entire life. Because think about it. One, you probably enabled yourself to be a people pleaser to that specific person. So then when they make you feel like crap because you're not pleasing them and you think that's your job and that's the only way you're happy, or simply you're not even a people pleaser. You're just, you know you're doing what you should. You know you love the person, but they still just put the blame on you. You're going to allow that person to keep putting the blame on you until you take the time and you put the blame on yourself. Like, you know what, Timothy? Forget, I blame myself. Dang nabbit. And because of that, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go. How big of a difference is that between him just blaming you, sitting here like, you know what, you're right, put the blame on me. Then you just go to sleep and hopefully wake up blameless? No, the blame's on you. Okay? Take the power into your own hands. Isn't that interesting though? I haven't really heard that. Don't blame anybody but yourself. Yeah, okay. Why? Because then that gives you the power to change. They forget that little end part of the quote. Yep. So my last third step to leaving a toxic relationship. So one, we had that you got to be willing to walk away from the pain. You got to be willing to understand you're going through a cycle, whether it be from relationship to relationship and you're carrying the same messed up mentality to continue the same weird cycle just with a new person. Or you don't know how to set healthy boundaries or you're not over your past love, but you get what I mean. And then there's step 3. And step 3 is, I think, something that's very, very beneficial. And that is taking one simple thing into consideration. Now, if you could count on your hand how many people have truly, truly hurt you, manipulated you, deceived you, hurt you. You could, right? You'd be like, oh yeah, I can name all of them. But then if you sat down and you thought about all of the people who helped you, loved you, or showed care, could you? Because you got to take into consideration the person who helped bag your food at the grocery store, who then also offered you to help walk it to your car. You also have to take into consideration the person that let you over that you didn't even know why you needed to get over so you didn't miss your exit in traffic. You also got to take into consideration that kid in 4th grade who gave you the answer to question number 15. And then you have to take into consideration your swim coach who taught you how to swim, right? Then you got to take into consideration your aunt, because even though she's a brat and real strung up and always wearing way too much makeup and lipstick, she still burped you when you were a baby, right? You would really have to sit and think about how many people helped you and loved you. Because you've had a lot of friends who have loved you, right? You've had a lot of people just on the street show a smile, give you a little wave. You've had a whole bunch of animals show you love, right? So you need to stop focusing on the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 people, 15 guys you've been in a relationship that you allowed yourself to become in contact with to even hurt you in the beginning, and focus on all of the endless amounts of people and still people that are going to come into your life who are going to help you, whether it be for 15 seconds or 15 years. The people who have helped you have a way, way broader impact on you in the multiples than the one or two few that have hurt you. Okay? And with that being said, that helps you understand that not everybody is out here to hurt you. It's simply not. It's really hard to walk away from the pain and end a cycle and then not go out thinking that everybody out here is either going to take advantage of you, you're going to be with them for 3 years until you finally figure out that they're a flake or they're a manipulative liar, you know? It's really hard to then walk away with a mentality that isn't either A, this world is out to get me, or B, these people are just sick and wrong, you know? So you have to accept that. It is. You can be in denial all you want, but like my mom said, denial is just a river. It is. It's a river in Egypt. What about it? You know what I mean? So acknowledge, not everybody is out here to hurt you. Yes, there's sometimes good people who do bad things, but that's a huge difference between somebody who's just taking advantage of you and who's toxic and that you need to walk away from. Just period, you know what I mean? Move forward with a mindset that you are going to attract like-minded people as well. That will help end the cycle too. If you stay in the cycle that's, oh, poor me, I need a man to please me, I need this to keep me a company, I need this, and this, you're going to attract people that think the same way. But if you rise above and you put yourself out there and you focus on yourself, you heal from all love, whether it be relationships with your family, friends, coworkers, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, anybody. And most importantly, when you do break the cycle, you need to detox your timeline. Mentally, physically, spiritually. By physically, you gotta start new. Whether that means you delete all your social media and never go back, you delete social media and go back in a year or two, or you delete social media and start a new account, or you just unfriend everybody that you need to unfriend. You delete old pictures, a year ago today. Delete stuff. Clear and detox your timeline, because if you clear yourself away and you walk away from the pain and you think you've ended the cycle, but then all of a sudden, all of this stuff pops up into your face that you know would trigger you, whether it be an old voicemail, old text messages, a piece of clothing items. Like, clear out everything that you need to do. Do some spring cleaning for yourself. I don't care if it's fall or winter. Detox yourself, okay? Get rid of it all. Block numbers, erase numbers, block emails, erase emails. Do what you need to do. The easiest way to ruin your life is to tell yourself stories of the past. That's the quote I'm going to end off on. The easiest way to ruin your life is to tell yourself stories of the past. You can walk away from the pain and you can have a whole new cycle going on for you. But if you seriously sat there for even 1 second and you've relived a situation that already happened with a past boyfriend, or say he's not texting you back and in the past you remember the reason he didn't text you, and then you play this whole scenario in your head, you're going to ruin your life. You're going to ruin your relationships. You're going to ruin your self-love, your self-worth. Your insecurities are going to go through the roof. You need to walk away from the pain, understand that you don't need to fight anymore. Your love is more important. You need to be able to break the cycle, whether that means taking time to be completely by yourself, heal from all past love, learn how to set healthy boundaries, or say you fall into a new relationship. Right off the bat, first week talking to him, this is who I am, these are the boundaries that I have. And in my people-pleasing videos, I have a little part where I talk about not being overbearing, to where you're not just this, I'm demanding this, and this, to where you're turning the other person into a people pleaser to please you. So yeah, I really recommend that podcast. But anyway, like I said, you can't move on and then tell yourself stories of the past, right? So you got to walk away from the pain. You got to end the cycle, realize it was a cycle, and you need to realize that there's way more people out there who love you than the one person that's hating you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like that was very short and simple. Again, those are just 3 little steps. I wrote even right here on the second page other video ideas that I wanted to leave in case you were like, oh, this really didn't help that much. I still have a whole bunch of questions. I wanted to keep this one short, so some future videos ideas I have are red flags. So how to see red flags, what are red flags, what to do when red flags occur, but more specifically the signs, what the red flags of a toxic relationship are. 2, I would really like to make a video about codependency and how a lot of people are so dependent on their significant other that they're not necessarily in a relationship with another person. They're just codependent on another being. Number 3, I could make a video on people pleasing and setting boundaries in case people like to watch a face instead of just listening to a voice. And then number 4, I have the idea to make an idea of just ways to not necessarily keep yourself distracted, but keep yourself focused on moving forward and keeping your new intentions correct and healthy. And yeah. And even if I just make a video on altogether setting healthy boundaries, not necessarily just talking about it. Yeah. But those are just 3 little tips that I have. They're kind of real broad and out there, but again, if anybody wants a deeper video into more steps on leaving a toxic relationship, I would love to make another video because those are just 3 little things that I kind of wanted to cover in case somebody just needed a little something. As an emergency, you know what I mean? Or heck, just something simple. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I wish you all a peaceful future. And please understand that nothing is worth your inner pain. It's not. It's time to walk away and better yourself. Like I promised, dude. And you're not alone. You got my weird booty to listen to. You got a bunch of other weirdos, you know. Seriously. This whole world is filled with people who want to show you love. So you got to listen to them. You can't listen to the people who are still hurting you. But at the end of the day, you gotta apply it to yourself. I could tell you all I want, but until you apply it and actually see that it works, that I didn't believe stuff worked either. Promise, I didn't. But I'm able to make this somehow. So obviously shows work. Woo! Perspiring. I'm just kidding. Have a good day, kids. Alrighty.